we have AI, we have automation, and we have the big data taking the center stage. From your vantage point, how is technology, or how is the tech landscape today shifting for traditional sectors like waste management? Where do you see the biggest opportunities or the biggest improvement, perhaps?
If you talk about the technology, yeah, technology is definitely creating an impact in the traditional sectors like this. But if you talk about AI and automation, this new technology AI, it is not making a such impact as of now because it is just a top layer innovation. AI is too early for sectors like this, I believe, because we have to first organize this system first, and there's some structured things going. If structured thing is going to happen, and this, there is a very lack of structured data when it comes to traditional systems, like for example, waste management. You can't apply intelligence over chaos and then expect meaningful outcomes. I believe it is too early for AI to implement on this, but yeah, there are many other, sectors where technology is creating a huge impact, and people are some building some machines also for material classifications, creating reverse vending machines. Technology in as a whole is creating a huge impact, but there's a very noise about AI right now. There's no direct implementation of AI.
Hello, you're watching the mainstream. I am Simran Shivalkar, your host for today, and this is an exclusive dialogue brought to you by the mainstream. And today we are joined by Mr. Sameer Carpenter. Firstly, Sameer, thank you so much for being a part of the series and joining me today.
Thank you, Samdan, for inviting me.
Absolutely. Let me take a moment to share a few things about Sameer. To begin with, he is the Chief Technology Officer at the Kabadiwala, where he's also leveraging technology to bring efficiency and structure to India's largely informal waste management ecosystem. With a strong focus on building scalable and impact driven solutions, Sameer's work sits at the intersection of sustainability, logistics, and digital innovation, reimagining how waste can be transformed into real value. I'm more than thrilled to lead this dialogue and understand his journey and gain some amazing insights. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Sameer, let's start from your journey first. Can you take us back to your journey into the tech world and eventually into the waste management space? What has brought you to solving problems in this sector, and what have been some of the key defining moments as a leader today?
So how I landed in this sector, I didn't choose to land on, I didn't choose to pursue this, but I was quite fascinated by the technology when I was young, and I want to build something, some product that real people can use. So during when I was in the college, I met Anurag, who started the Kabadiwala, and we met there, and I found it very interesting that we are solving a real problem, that recycling is issue. Waste collection especially is a major problem in India especially. I found it very exciting, so I joined, and we kept working on this thing for years, more than I guess 10 years for now. There is a huge impact, good potential for creating an impact in this sector. So that's the thing that keeps me more motivating to pursue this career.
Thank you so much for giving us a glimpse of your journey, Sameer. And I also want to understand from you, like you rightly said, that this is a very, operational ecosystem. We are talking about waste management, we are talking about recycling, and, parallelly, the tech ecosystem is also evolving. We have AI, we have automation, and we have the big data taking the center stage. From your vantage point, how is technology, or how is the tech landscape today shifting for traditional sectors like waste management? Where do you see the biggest opportunities or the biggest improvement, perhaps?
If you talk about the technology, yeah, technology is definitely creating an impact in the traditional sectors like this. But if you talk about AI and automation, this new technology AI, it is not making a such impact as of now because it is just a top layer innovation. AI is too early for sectors like this, I believe, because we have to first organize this system first, and there's some structured things going. If structured thing is going to happen, and this, there is a very lack of structured data when it comes to traditional systems, like for example, waste management. You can't apply intelligence over chaos and then expect meaningful outcomes. I believe it is too early for AI to implement on this, but Yeah, there are many other, sectors where technology is creating a huge impact, and people are some building some machines also for material classifications, creating reverse vending machines. Technology in as a whole is creating a huge impact, but there's a very noise about AI right now. I mean, there's no direct implementation of AI in these sectors. Maybe in future there we can see some real impact of AI in these sectors also. Yeah.
Samir, thank you so much for answering that. And I also want to highlight working in a sector that is very operational and highly unstructured, like you said, it often, comes with its own set of challenges. What have been some of the most, the toughest hurdles for you as a leader? If you can share some of the biggest pain points as a leader that you've come across.
Okay, so main challenges we face is around adoption because it is a very new kind of thing for people when we started. People took some time to understand what going on. Also, we see many people they are just amazed कि यार ये भी online होता है क्या मतलब ऐसा. People are adapting quietly because there are many businesses, food delivery businesses and cabs businesses are going on. So people are habitual right now. When we started, we faced these challenges regarding adoption, and there is also some behavioral challenges among the customers because they have some different kind. Some customers have some different kind of behaviors when it comes to Kabadiwalas. With time, it is improving. This thing is building a tag for customers was one part, and building a tag for Kabadiwalas, the scrap dealers, is another challenge. And because in today, right now, everybody has a smartphone and all things. But back when we started, there was very few people. I mean, very in terms of scrap dealers, they are not very familiar with phones, smartphones, and so building a tag, building an app for them is quite challenging at that time. So, that was the one of the main hurdle we faced. We try at Kabadiwala, we try to make things simpler, and so yeah.
Absolutely. And we have also seen a gap between, when we talk about building innovative solutions and building solutions that actually get adopted on the ground. What principles or the best practices have helped you to ensure that the technology that you build is both practical and scalable at the same time?
I believe we should keep things simple as possible because when the things start getting complex, very hard to manage, very hard to scale as well. So always try to make things simple. Also, don't try to build for future. Build for now. What's your current requirement? You have to build what is needed right now, not what would be needed in future. That's the one thing we keep in mind. I keep in mind, and also it helps. I mean, if you keep things simple in product what you are building, it will be easier for user to grasp what is going on, and instead of bombarding features or features because just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should do it. I believe that simplicity should be main focus when building things for mass users. And also once you started, you have some traction, you have some users, you have to observe their behavior. You should talk to the users who are using the technology you are building, how they are behaving, because there is a one thing one you can talk to them and you can observe how they are doing. Because you have to observe how people are using what you are building is a good way to improving things. At sometimes you have to assume things also because you don't have enough data, and also but after some time once you got some data, you have to rely on the data, make
Right.
decisions on those things. So yeah, these are the some behavior, some principles that we follow, I feel.
Samir, thank you so much for sharing these best practices with us. And before we wrap up, I would want to know from you. I'm sure today, as a CTO, as a leader, you're wearing multiple hats, and your role goes beyond technology, beyond decision making, team building, and developing a long term vision for the organization as well. Any key lessons or frameworks that have guided your approach, when it comes to leading teams and building a fast evolving environment? Any, best practices or any takeaways that you would like to give?
Okay, so when you are leading a team, as a leader, your main goal should be to bring the clarity to the team. Each team member should have as much clarity as you have, because if they don't know what they are working and why they are working on a particular thing, then you can't expect the best outcome from them. So I believe you have to be very, you as a leader, you are solve sole job is to, I mean, your main job is to bring clarity to the team. And this is the one thing. Also, you should trust your team so they can take ownership of what they are working on things. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us today. And thank you once again for this candid and very insightful dialogue, Sameer. I'm sure our viewers have a lot to take away from this episode. While we wrap up, I most certainly look forward to connect with you again.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.